we have just seen how, how we can install Terraform, right? How we can get started with things, how we can find the things, right? And you just learned, right, how to create a VPC. So whenever you want to create anything, create VPC, AWS, Terraform, right? It's going directly taking you to here, right? And you're just copying these blocks from here. If you don't want to give any tag, normal VPC, go ahead and use it. Some basic uses, you do it, right? In the same way, I have created one VPC here. Sorry, I would call it created net gateway subnet provider instance. It's creating VPC, right? So this open end, I'm creating one VPC which is called name shaker. I'm giving this CIDR block here, 172.16.0.0/16. I'm enabling the DNS name. Even don't need, we can disable them. And let me take this tag here. Let's say I want to take this, tenancy, or I will take, this tag here itself. So I'm gonna remove this here. I will remove this too. I will paste these tags here quickly, right? I'm taking the tenancy dedicated. I'm giving this tag. I think this is starting here and this is being closed here, so I just need to close this tag. This tag is not needed, so just remove the extra space that is not needed. So you can see starting here and it's closed here. The tag was started here and was closed here. And if you want to give some tag to this, so let's give one name to it, AWS underscore plus. Go ahead and save it, right? In the same way, now the second task would be for you to create the subnet, right? Either you need to create the private subnet and you need to create the public subnet. So same way, I have created one subnet here. So let's open it and see. So I say, what is the resource name? Resource name is AWS subnet. In the same way, that's pretty easy. Go here, find, create subnet, AWS Terraform, right? So that's, you're gonna get the first link here. How to use this resource to create the subnet. Scroll it down. It says give the basic uses would be AWS underscore subnet and the name, what name you wants to give. Second is the VPC ID, because whenever the VPC will be created, it will get one ID. That's what it is say. It will use a variable, right? So that's what it is taking, a $AWS underscore VPC, because whenever you will run the Terraform init or Terraform plant, Terraform apply, right? When it will create it, so what resource we have used already, AWS VPC. Let me exit this file. Let me go to creating VPC. Right? So we have taken this here already, and we have given name this. So that's what it is taking here, $AWS underscore VPC dot main dot ID, right? This is the name of the VPC and ID. So whenever it will be created, it will assign that ID to this variable here, to this VPC ID here, right? And the CIDR block would be this. And if you want to give any tag to it, go ahead and use it. So here I save this. I go to create a private subnet here. In private subnet, what I'm saying here, resource name is AWS subnet that we have seen, and the name is private subnet. I will call it, what is the VPC ID? VPC ID, just I have shown you, VPC AWS underscore VPC dot shaker, the name of the VPC. Dot ID means the ID it will get after you have created it. So the CIDR block would be this, right? In the same way, we will create another, we have created another public subnet here. What it says, the resource is AWS underscore subnet and the name is public subnet, and in which VPC it will be created, it will be created in this VPC, AWS underscore VPC dot shaker dot ID, and CIDR block is this. I have not given any tag. If you would like to give any tag to it, go ahead and use the tag section from here and use it. Right, you can go here quickly and give tag to it. So it's good to give the tags, I think. Right, so you'll have to take these things in the consideration in the JSON stuff. Right, you are giving some space and using it accordingly. That looks good. Now you can remove one space, though it's not impacting anything. Right, now what we have done so far, we have created one VPC, we have created two subnet, we have just written it. Right, next what we need to create one internet gateway also. Right, if you need to create the internet gateway, what we need to do, because whatever the VPC we will be creating, if we need the internet, right, we will have to create the VPC also. So that's what I mean, internet gateway. So what we have done here is we have used AWS underscore internet gateway, and what name you want to give to that, and internet gateway would be allocated, or it should be created on some VPC. So that's what we have given the VPC ID. Again, this is the resource name, right? AWS VPC dot Shekhar was the name that we had given for the VPC, and ID, what would be the ID of that VPC. Right, if you want to give the tag, follow the same process. Right, and again the simple format, create internet gateway AWS Terraform. So get the first link or second link, maybe you will get all the details how you gonna do that. So the resource name to create the internet gateway is AWS internet gateway. Gateway name is GWD. In which VPC ID it will be created, the name you would like to assign to it. Right, if you want to assign some different arguments, tags and something else, if you want to variabilize it also, you can do that. Some more attributes which we have available here. Right, the same we will get from here itself. Right, now once we have created VPC, we have created subnet on top of that, we have created internet gateway. Right, now what next we need, guys? Adding internet gateway to private subnets.
Subnet gateway.
Yeah, we need to create net. That depends on, right, when we are doing manually, what we will do. In the same way, we will have to think right here.
A route table.
We'll have to create route tables. Right, so let's go to the route table. So I will remove a couple of files which we don't need. State backup, that's fine now. Right, so let's have a look into the route table now. Right, in the same way, first quickly go here, and instead of internet gateway, I'll write it route table here.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you can see the documentation here, how the format is. Let's get down. So here is the small example, right? So the resource name is route table, AWS underscore route underscore table. The main thing you need to understand is this, right? What is the resource table? I mean, resource you need to use to create the resource name, in which VPC will create it, and what route you will associate. Right, and what tag you would like to give. The same way, here we are creating two route tables. The first route table is AWS route table association. We are giving it a association is public subnet, and what subnet ID we would like to put it, AWS underscore subnet dot public dot subnet ID. And what would be the route tables? Right, the route table ID would be this. Right, and this was for the association, I think. Let's see, creating route table first, that we was associating route table there. So AWS route, right? What route we are table? Route table ID is this, right? And what is the destination CIDR block? What we are allowing? It's 0.0.0/0. What is the gateway ID? Gateway ID is this, right? So that's how we are already getting the ready-made blocks here, right? We just have to place them and use them, right? So in the same way, we have created here internet gateway, or in the same way we'd have created the net gateway to here. So first we are creating internet IP, that means public IP, and the resource name for creating, it's EIP, and the name we have given is elastic EIP. Yes, it should be the VPC, and it depends on the internet gateway. So once the internet gateway has been created, then this should be created. That's what we have given, internet gateway here, right? The next is create net gateway. The resource name to create internet gateway is AWS_net_gateway, right? You can quickly go here and find create net gateway, AWS Terraform. Right, so you'll get the first documentation, right? So how you are doing it? Resource name is net gateway, allocation ID is this, subnet ID is this. In which subnet ID you would apply it. Make sure you are always applying net gateway to the public subnet, right? That's how you will be able to assign it to the private subnet, and you will get the internet, right? Once you have done with all things, like you have created the route table, assigned those route table, to subnet, right? Adding subnet to route tables, right? And you have created the security groups, right? The next task would be create the security group, right? So I think we have created two security group here. Create security group public.tf and private.tf. You can do in this one file also, but I have used two files just for it becomes easy for you to understand and do. So the first security group I have created, the resource name is AWS security group. Again, you have to follow the same process, right? Just go ahead in the here, create security group AWS Terraform, right? It will give you it. You just have to copy and paste the thing. I can't tell you more thing here. I just can guide you, and you just have to use and practice more things, right? What is the resource name? AWS security group allow TLS. I mean, this is the name. Name is allow TL. What description you wants to give? What is the VPC ID you will allocate to this security group? What are your ingress rule? What are your egress rule? Ingress mean anyone can tell me? What can come in, what traffic can go out, right? Ingress mean incoming traffic, right? The same way we have done here. AWS security group name is front end, description is only HTTP connection inbound, VPC ID equals to AWS_VPC.shaker.id. this is my VPC, right? That's what I'm saying. This security group should be created on this VPC, and the ingress rule should be, I have used only one egress. In ingress, what I'm saying is port 80 and 22 I am allowing from everywhere, and you can specify the range here also, right? Egress, let it go everything outside. The same we have done for private. In private subnet, the resource group name will be same. This is the database, and we are just allowing 3306, and you can allow it from the only front end security group. That's we have already created it. That's what we are saying. Security_group AWS_security group dot front end dot id, because whenever this resource would be created, it would be getting one IP. That's what we are giving dot id here, so that that specific ID would be associated with this. And what rules we have given? Ingress 22 allowed from everywhere, and out egress also from everywhere. Anything can go outside, though you do not need this, because you will be only able to accessible from this group, right? And you can decide what all traffic you can get from here locally from this, right? I will quickly save it. Now once you're done with these all things, you need to create the instance, right? So I have created two kind of instances here, one on private subnet, one on public subnet. So here you can see instance.tf file, right? If you go to instance.tf file, right, again, how to create instance? Create EC2 instance, AWS Terraform, right? For all the cloud it will work the same way, guys, remember this, right? So quickly click on this link, go here, copy this script and make it usable for you. Here is some example how you can use it. If you need some specific AMI, you can specify it, right? What is the provider, what is the reason, right? What is the data AMI you are going to take? If you want to put any filters, right, who will be the owner, and at the end resource, right? Resource is AWS instance, the name is web, what AMI it is going to take, what instance type it is going to take, what tag you are going to give it. And let's go to EC2 section and see more here. That's giving us, so here you can go to AWS instance, AWS instances, right? You have everything here. Just go ahead and click on those two. You get more things, guys, here, right? Here are the basic example. The data, AWS instance, for instance ID is this. Okay, right, so let's leave it and let's go to this tag also. These are the data source instances. Instance tag, yep, I think this works too, right? So you can easily pick those examples from here and make them usable for you, right? Whatever you think that is going to be usable for you, but also you'll have to take care of a couple of things like what AMI you are going to take, whether this AMI exists in this specific region or not. Sometime you will get those issues also. If that AMI is not available in that specific region, you might get some issues. So the same thing we have done, guys. Here I am saying resource name would be AWS instance, right, and the name would be web server 1. AMI would be this, so I have taken this AMI. Instance type would be t2.micro. Associate public IP address, I said yes, please assign it. Subnet ID, guys, I have taken which subnet, in which subnet it would be launched. So this is the format of giving it, right? It's colon, dollar, braces, right? AWS underscore subnet, what was the resource name, and what was the name of that subnet, public.subnet and .id, right? So you just have to put it in the double quotes. Every time you do, you'll have to do in this format only. You start in the double quotes, dollar, because you are calling one resource which has been already created. So that's what we have given this here. Double quotes, dollar is just a variable, and variable is this, right? ID is ID, whenever one resource is being created, it is getting one ID, so that's what we have given .id here. So this ID would be attached to this instance. VPC security group IDs, right? Which VPC security group should be allocated to it? That's what, again, the same way. It's a dollar AWS underscore security group dot frontend dot ID, and key name would be DevOps 1, right? Or if you don't know the key, you just have to create the key and use it. So I will quickly go to my this region, East 1. I have one key there with the DevOps 1 name. The second instance I am creating, how many counts you need also? The second resource I am creating is AWS instance. The name would be database. How many count we need? I said I need 2 count. AMI, I said use this AMI. right? Instance type, I said this would be the instance type. Subnet ID, I said AWS underscore subnet dot private underscore subnet dot ID, and the key should be this, right? In the same way, you can put more configuration inside it. So what I'm going to change now is provider again. In the provider, I'm in the US East one, right? North Virginia. So I would like to take it because I have that key in US East one. Hope this is fine now, right? Once you are done with these all things, guys, what you need again, you need to do Terraform plan here. When you plan, it gives you so many things. It says couple of things are deprecating. This depends on is deprecating here, I think you'll have to find those things here also. So what everything is going to happen here, guys, and how the sequence will of those things will happen. Just quickly go up. Here it is, right? So first it is creating elastic IP, right? The next it will create AWS instance web service server 1. This is just showing it is creating, but sequence will be vary, right? Whatever the sequence it needs, on the basis of that it will create instance database 0, right? And instance db1, right? And in the same way, internet gateway, net gateway, internet access, everything it is creating here. So let's go ahead and apply it quickly. Right, so it says these resources are being created, 16 resources, right? Some of the option, these are going to be deprecated, so you'll have to change in the future accordingly. So go ahead and do yes. So now you can see quickly the instances are, things are creating VPC completed after 1 second, and this is the ID we have achieved. Private subnet is creating, right? And route table is being creating and completed. It got one ID, you can see here ID equals to this, and you can see subnet has been created, it got ID equals to this ID. So whatever the things are being created, it is getting some specific IDs. So you see all the resources are creating very quickly, even than we expected. Now net gateway is creating, it generally takes some time. You can see security groups has been created, and those has been assigned some security ID too. Right, now it has started creating the instance also, web server 1, DB server. So this will like take more practice of your guys, right? How find things and do things, everything. So let's go ahead and see meanwhile what things has happened here. So let's refresh it and see. You can see AWS class VPC is there. So let me remove this VPC. I don't need this one. Right, so there are some error. What is that? Error launching source in unsupported. The request configuration is currently not supported. Please check the documentation for supported configuration. It says the instance TF line 1 resource AWS instance web server 1. Let's say it should support though. I have just created it. So you can see VPC has been created, subnet has been created, right? And you can see subnet has been created, route tables has been quickly created. And let's go to net gateway, everything, internet gateway. You have to give some specific tags to them, that would be easy for you to identify the things also. slow, guys. So you can see it has been created and attached, right? And in the same way, if you go to net gateway, it has been created and everything has been attached here, but the instance is failing. We'll see that quickly, why the instance creation is failing, though it should not. Right? Did it try to create it? Okay, so let's reduce the instance once. The launch instance unsupported. The request configuration is currently not supported. Please check the document for supported configuration. The instance line number 9, resource AWS instance database instance.tf. Let me quickly comment out those. Let me reapply this. Maybe like they're not allowing because of the free tier also, right? You will see, guys, such kind of many issues. We were just updating it, right? So let's do this. Since not support. Let's quickly go and find why we're having this. Says this is because of, you know, we do not have these things that change the reason the US West and then code with a new MIID. Says this is because of EMIID. I believe this MIID should be there. Let me quickly destroy
चंद्रा, हेलो।
yes, yes.
आपने एक्सेस की और वहाँ पे सीक्रेट की डिफाइन करी है उसकी कॉन्फ़िगरेशन फाइल में?
सीक्रेट की करी तभी तो इन सब कुछ क्रिएट हो पाया है। सिर्फ इंस्टेंस क्रिएशन फेल हो रहा है। वी हैव एवरीथिंग, वी हैव नेटवर्क, वी हैव एवरीथिंग, बट वी आर नॉट एबल टू क्रिएट द इंस्टेंसेस। मेक सेंस?
बट वहाँ पे तो नहीं दिखाई दे रही एक्सेस की।
कहाँ पे?
आपने जो इंस्टेंस डॉट
I have quickly removed this infra again, so let it be. All the resources has been quickly destroyed here. Let me resume it. So I found the issue, guys. What it is happening is this was not the ME issue. So most of the time it is being said that if you are getting such kind of issues, like, let me copy it here and the documentation itself, right? If you are getting such issues like unsupported request configuration is currently not supported, please check the documentation for support. And it's getting 400 requests. That means the specific AMI doesn't exist in the region. But what I found is the issue at this time was I used the dedicated tenancy here with the VPC, it doesn't support it. Where is that? Creating VPC. So what I found is I just removed the dedicated tenancy and I keep it default, which I just found here in this document only, right? You can see here incorrect timing. Here it says The change the tenancy underscore instance underscore tenancy dedicated to instance default, it should work. So they was getting the same issue that we were here, right? So that's what I changed, and this should work. So let's go ahead and do Terraform apply again. Let me like uncomment the instance section again. I'm gonna do this. Right, so everything is done. We are going to create 2 DB instance, one web server instance, and let's go ahead and Terraform apply. That's gonna do the things quickly for you. Go ahead and do yes. Now this is going to create each and everything for us, but make sure we miss some tags here, and I would like to add tags, to those things. Whenever you are doing anything, just go ahead and use the tags with most of the things, otherwise it will become a bit difficult for you to identify. You can see 3 of the instances has started creating. In the same way, if you go back and see here itself in the EC2 section, you see our instance was getting ready. So let's go to the security group and see those groups has been created. That should be either in progress or that either those should have been created. You can see, let's come down. I think tags are not there, so it is a bit difficult to identify them. I think it's here. So you can see the database, one should be front end. So this is the front end. You'll have to assign the tags also so that it becomes easy to identify. Go to elastic IP and see if the elastic IP has been created. Yep, we have also achieved one elastic IP here. In the same way, we have already seen like how VPC and everything has been created. So it's still creating the net gateway, and so all the 16 resources has been quickly created. Do you see guys how less time we took to do this for everything, right? And only with a matter of 2 minutes everything has been created, right? Complete infrastructure and things, right? And we have web servers, we have two DB servers, we have everything that we need, right? Even if you want to change something, you want to tag something, we can quickly do it. Let's say I would call it what I want to apply tag with. Let's say I would like to apply tag with get vpc.tf. I think we added tags here. Let's copy these tags and start applying to the other things also. Let's say I'll go ahead and instance sections, and here I would like to apply some tags too. So what name you would like to give to those tags? Web server. Let's come down, shift insert, and let's give this tag to DB server. So let's apply the Terraform command again, right? Because we're gonna reapply same things again here. So it says these all things exist, but what is going to be changed here? 0 plan, add 3 to change, 0 to destroy, right? Where we are applying these, you can see here, right? So let's hit enter, apply. It's 2s. So it will apply the tag to these 3 resources. You can see successfully the instance has been modified quickly, and these were the 3 instances which has been tagged, right? And if you go here in the tag section, you should be able to see the tags now, right? DB server, and web server. In the same way, you can enable tagging for other things also, right? Let's say, you wanna apply some tags because you're having some some issues identifying your resources in the VPC section. That's I wanted to show, right? So you can simply do the tagging for those also. So let's say I go to subnet here. It's very difficult to find which subnet I have created. I'll have to see VPC and something. So I'll go to my things subnet. Where is that private subnet.tf? vi private subnet.tf. So what I will do here is I will put the tag here itself. Except, oh my bad. Creating VPC. I'll take that. So the tag will remain same for everything, right? So that's what I'm going to copy it. Private dot open shift insert. What tag you would like to give it? Private underscore subnet, or the name of project you would like to specify in the tag. Here we already have main, so it will get changed. Instead of main, we'll call it public. Let's go ahead and apply Terraform. You can check in plan first what will happen. It will refresh the plan. It will tell you, and just go up. It says two to change, right? You have two things to change. Go ahead and apply it. That you'll see what things will be changing also. Oh man, what I did. I was doing plan only. Right, so you can go ahead quickly here and start assigning tags to whatever the resource you want. So you say quickly, the resource has been changed. Give a refresh. You can see public and private subnet is here now. In the same way, you can tag to each and every individual resources and see if you have done POCs and if you don't want this in environment, right? So even the destroying it, is the skill of doing in a 2 minute. So the way we created it quickly, the way we are quickly destroying them, and how quick it is. So guys, I have also placed these scripts in here in my GitHub repository. Most probably I would ask you to use directly the Terraform, HashiCorp site, right, from where you can learn these things easily, and this will be even better, right? You directly go there and you start learning from the site. But for references, you can take these GitHub scripts too. You can clone it and you can use it. I posted here, so let me commit it and push it again. And you can see everything is being destroyed very quickly, and see if those things gone. You can see everything is gone now. You'll see VPC, subnets, and right, all my instances all has gone. So I have now only one instance remaining, right? Everything is gone in a second, right? So how easy it is. So what I'm going to do is git add star git commit changing the scripts. Okay, that's fine. I will push the updated scripts there. Any questions so far?